Welcome to Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast, the podcast that empowers you to turn your dreams into reality using the law of attraction. I'm your host, Papi DiNuzzo, and together we'll dive into the mindset, strategies, and energy shifts you need to create the life you've always envisioned. Whether it's health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, or spirituality. Inspired by my transformative book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, each episode brings you practical tools, inspiring stories, and bold insights to unlock your limitless potential. Get ready to manifest your greatness, and let's dive in.
Podcast disclosure. The following podcast is by DiNuzzo Private Wealth, Inc. DiNuzzo is for general informational purposes only. No portion of the podcast serves as the receipt of or as a substitute for personalized investment advice from DiNuzzo. Different types of investments involve varying degrees of risk, and it should not be assumed that future performance of any specific investment or investment strategy or any non-investment related or planning services, discussion, or content will be profitable, be suitable for your portfolio or individual situation, or prove successful. No portion of the podcast content should be construed by a client or prospective client as a guarantee that he or she will experience a certain level of results if DiNuzzo is engaged or continues to be engaged to provide investment advisory services. Namaste, this is Mikey, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today along with Manifestation Mindset Coach Papi DiNuzzo on the Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. If you're a successful entrepreneur looking to take your business, life, health, wealth, love, and impact to the next level, the Papi Mindset Manifestation Mastermind and or the Papi Mindset Manifestation Retreats may be just the answer and experience you've been looking for. This is where positive thoughts, emotions, and actions align with ancient wisdom within a tribe of purpose meets profit entrepreneurs who are dedicated to elevating their mindset, their energy, their results, and their fellow brothers and sisters in need. If you're ready to manifest, grow, stretch, and really step into the next new or higher version of yourself, our mastermind and retreats were created just for you. Also, I just want to remind everybody that Papi's social media is really taking off. He can be found on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So if you're looking for a continuous stream of positive energy, please go to any of these social platforms and follow, share, and like him. Thank you very much, Papi. We're ready to go to you to set the table.
Oh, thank you so much, Mikey. Thank you so much for putting together such a great podcast today. And thank you to Kim, our producer, the mastermind. Thank you, Kim, for all of your wonderful work in the background for making this success after success every podcast. Welcome, my fellow brothers and sisters. Grand rising to you, and all your loved ones. Namaste, namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. Each and every one of my fellow brothers and sisters, sending you love from Papi Mindset Coach and from myself. I want to congratulate you on the greatest day of your life. Today is the greatest day of your life. It can be no other way. This entire universe is eternally grounded in the present. There is no past. There is no future. The entire universe, this little speck of sand, Earth that we live on, and the entire universe and universes upon universes upon universes are all grounded in the present. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. My fellow brothers and sisters, open up your mind. Open up your mind. Shut down your conscious mind, your stinking thinking, Mr. Stupid, as Dolores Cannon referred to it. Open up your subconscious mind today, and please, I implore you, hear this word. Hear this word. Listen to this word. Listen to this truth. Listen to this truth. I implore you. My fellow brothers and sisters, I always attempt to make everything as straightforward and simple as possible. And one of the biggest hurdles to get over is that fork in the road that I talk with you about all the time. You are at the most important point of inflection in your entire life. Right now, you didn't come here today by accident. Your subconscious mind drew you here for a reason, and this is the reason. At this fork in the road that you stand in front of, you have a road sign to the left that says 3D and a road sign to the right that says 5D. You can only take one path. You want to stay in this 3D path? You've been at this for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, 80 years or longer. And I just ask you to give yourself a grade in your report card. Health, wealth, love, happiness, relationships, experiences, and spirituality, and any and all things that are important to you. Give yourself a grade. How are you doing on that, my fellow brothers and sisters? How are you doing? And I wouldn't suggest this unless I have the answer and the answers for you. But when I have this conversation with pretty much every single fellow brother and sister I've ever met, they'll hang their heads somewhat and say, Papi, I'm not happy with my grades. I'm not happy with these in a number of areas of my life. And all I am suggesting to you, all Pappy does is offer suggestions, my brother says, I love you more than you could ever imagine. I am only suggesting to you that there may be another way, that there may be a better way, that there may be what Yeshua referred to as the way. There may be the way, and that is that the kingdom lives within you. You have access to all knowledge and all power of all time within you, and that's what I am here. That's what I'm here to level you up, to hold your hand, to walk arm in arm with you, to pick you up and be there for you when you stumble so that you can manifest anything you can imagine. You can manifest anything you can imagine. That's the 5D highway, my fellow brothers and sisters. If you can think it in your mind, you can and will hold it in your hand. One of the simplest ways I can explain this to you, and our brothers and sisters underestimate the awe-inspiring universal power they've been given. You are an eternal, ethereal, endless spiritual being. You are an ethereal and endless spiritual being having a limited physical experience, and you knew this. You planned it all out. You have perfection inside of you. You possess a perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, and most importantly, a perfect spiritual spark inside of you. Equally important is you've been blessed with free will. You've been blessed with free will, blessed with it. The simplest way I can explain this, my brothers and sisters, is everything around you, you only see with your human eyes a very small fraction of what is actually all around you. And my suggestion to you, scientists can call it plasma and different things. The universe refers to it as ether. And this ether around you, this pure energy, this pure spirit, this pure power all around you. So think of every atom that's around you, my fellow brothers and sisters, as a living, breathing, thinking, conscious entity. And you have the power to direct this energy. You have the power to direct this. You will not, I teach a lot, I teach and coach up on a lot of teaching techniques. There's a lot of different ways to get to the promised land here, my brothers and sisters. But at the heart and soul of this, affirmations, intentions, and prayers, but it's all about you. You will manifest what you are. You will manifest what you are. It's like a horizontal mirror. When I show you that stick figure, and we have vertical mirrors here on earth, you look at yourself in a mirror and you see an image. That horizontal mirror, think of a mirror on top of the bowl that I talk about for your subconscious mind. What is inside of your bowl? What is inside of your subconscious mind? What you are, your identity is what you will manifest. As above, so below. That's where it came from right then and there. As above, so below, as within, so without. The keys to the kingdom live within you. That's where the keys are at. The kingdom lives within you. That's where it's at. So I explain to you, manifesting the law of attraction, what it is, manifesting the law of attraction, how it works, and most importantly, manifesting the law of attraction, how you do it. That's what my podcast, my whole entire life, the rest of my life is dedicated to, is to helping you to shine universal light on you, my fellow brothers and sisters, to awaken the untapped creative power that lives within you, to awaken us with love and light and truth and goodness, for a grand awakening to get you to remember, for a grand remembering for this power that's inside of you. All right, brothers and sisters, I ask you to follow me until you find one of two things not to be true. Either I'm lying to you, or I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. You'll never encounter either of those. I am delivering this message directly to you from source. I'm delivering it directly to you. Believe me, you have the power, and you came here in a tie for your number one goal when you incarnated into this specific life. As Buddha recalled over 500 lives that he incarnated to, you came into this life to manage and direct energy, and you will manifest as above, so below, this reflection of what is in your subconscious mind, you, what you are, you, your identity, through your thoughts, through your feelings, through your actions, and through your words. Your words are so powerful. My brothers and sisters, be extraordinarily careful of the words that come out of your mouth. Be equally sensitive and protective to the words that go in your ears, what you hear. I don't want to get fancy, but the weighted average of that, I talking to you about, stay above your belt buckle, stay above your navel, stay in a high vibration state. And if your thoughts are in this high vibration state in the upper part of your torso, I want to get you up above your head, holding your cell phone above your head. But let's at least get you above your belt buckle right now. Most of our fellow brothers and sisters are in a de-energized state. And I'm trying to oversimplify this, but I'm trying to give you a visual vibrating out of the lower part of their body. Fear, worry, doubt, anxiety, greed, violence, anger, jealousy, deceit, extremely low vibrations. That's all you'll attract in. Buddha said you'll become what you think. You will attract what you feel. That's exactly what Buddha was talking about. Whatever you vibrate out is what's coming back to that level. It's like the most perfect boomerang, the most perfect universal cell phone. It is what I call your launch point. You want to launch from the highest point possible. Love and light and truth and goodness. You have this inside of you, my fellow brothers and sisters. And when you think a thought, when you feel an emotion, when you take action, efficient, inspired, joyful action is what I call it in my book, Manifesting As You Can Imagine. And your words, the words that you speak, the words that you hear, when you speak, when you think, when you feel, when you take action, you are directing this ether all around you, and every atom must, in universal law, heed your word, heed your thoughts, heed your feelings, heed your actions, and it must respond accordingly. You direct it. This is how you bring it into your life. This is how you manifest. We're not going to go deep on this right now, but you can manifest actively as well as passively. Actively is what most of us can do when I'm teaching you for things to do in plain English, for you to bring this into your life and manifest. And brothers and sisters, manifest is the fancy word for creating. Just a fancy word for creating. You can also manifest what I call passively by getting yourself where I want to get you. I want to get you in a high, beautiful level of harmony, alignment, and flow. I call that HAF, half, harmony, alignment, flow. Your thoughts, feelings, actions, and words. I say that's TFAW, TFAW. I try to give you acronyms to make this as easy as possible. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your words. Since we're on acronyms, the next one that's related to this, I want you to beak it like the beak on a bird, like the nose, like the beak on a bird, BEAK, in your subconscious mind, in that bowl that I'm talking about, where the keys to the kingdom, where the kingdom of God lives, where the kingdom lives, where the keys to the kingdom live. You will manifest what you are. You will manifest your identity. You will manifest, beak, what you believe, what you expect, genuinely in your authentic heart of hearts, what you expect to come into your life. What you assume, and it's assuming the feeling of this success, of this goal achieved, the assumption of that feeling. That's the A in beak. And the K is for know. My fellow brothers and sisters, I want you to know it. You go to the airport and you get on an airplane, you have a flight to another city. You're not bothering the flight attendant every 15 minutes. Are we headed in the right direction? Are we going to land in the city that I made my reservation for? You go into a restaurant, place a meal order. You're not calling the manager over after 5 or 10 minutes. I want to file a complaint. I don't think I'm going to receive my meal. I don't think I'm going to receive what I ordered. You put a GPS into your GPS to go somewhere, to drive in your car or any other direction. You don't question. You're driving across town. You're driving 10 miles or 100 miles. You're not questioning, are you going to go from town A to town B? My fellow brothers and sisters, you have to know this in your heart. This is the power that you have. Believe it, expect it, assume the feeling of this wish fulfilled. Know it. Know it in your heart of hearts. So thank you, Mikey. I went a little bit long on the greeting from Papi, but again, my brothers and sisters, I'm coming to you from a perspective of 100% pure spirituality. I don't discuss religion. I don't ever talk about religion. Whatever your faith is regarding your religion is your belief. Whatever that belief system, believe in a religion, not a religion, agnostic, atheist, you have a faith, whatever it is, I don't go there. I never talked about it. I love you. I am here to deliver how manifesting the law of attraction works, what it is, and how to do it. I'm here to serve you for the rest of my life, to teach you this secret, the largest secret on earth, for how to manifest anything you can imagine. Again, manifest is just a fancy word for create. So namaste again, Mikey. I want to thank you so much for putting together such a great show. Namaste again, my fellow beautiful sister Kim. Thank you so much for putting together a great show. And thank you, Mikey, for letting me go a little bit long on the initial greeting. Thank you.
You delivered a lot of powerful information in the first 15 minutes, so thank you for that. Also, we know you've been traveling a lot lately and you've been all over the world spreading your positive message. And recently, you led a manifestation experience with a high school men's basketball all star team comprised of national and international stellar athletes. Can you please share that experience with us?
Yeah, thank you, Mike. And I would just reiterate again to my fellow brothers and sisters listening and viewing today, when I went a little bit long in the introduction, I can literally state to you literally that it took me decades of my life to figure out what I shared with you in that introduction. I would suggest to you to go back and replay that over and over and over. Repetition is the key. Repetition is the key to us succeeding. You have negatives coming at you all day from a lot of different directions. Go back and listen to my introduction. I'm sharing with you what I'm looking to do constantly is take decades, these decades I've been on earth, take decades into days, take decades into hours, take decades of wisdom, of the knowledge of ancient wisdom that I want to share with you, that I'm here to share with you, why I came here, why I was sent here, to take this decades of knowledge into even minutes or seconds and share this with you so I can help you to succeed for the reason you came here. You Mike, you had a wonderful experience in the southern part of the United States with a high school men's basketball all-star team I was asked to come and present to. It was very nice. It was a group of young men, maybe total. They may have had some men from a couple of different teams, but it was 15, maybe 20 young men on the team. And it is in the United States, a national all-star team. But the all-star team, even though it's located here in the southern part of the United States, has a lot of internationally born basketball players as well who came here, who love the game of basketball and are very, very good. And these are a lot of very tall gentlemen as well. So it was a very nice audience, very well represented from all areas, all lanes of life, both domestically and internationally. And a gentleman had asked me, he said, Papi, I really think these young gentlemen could benefit from your mindset. And I came in and talked with them, and it was wonderful. There was a former NFL football player, Nelson Aguilar, who runs this complex. It's actually in Florida. And what he and his brother do is just absolutely spectacular. The time and the effort that, from just what I've seen, I'm no expert on it, but just from what I was exposed to, for how happy the players are, that the complex is for what they do. I want to congratulate them on the time and effort and the love that they're putting into developing young brothers and sisters, a lot of different sports, not just basketball, but a lot of different sports at this location. And it's very important for our younger fellow brothers and sisters in their formative years and their development years, grade school, middle school, junior high school, that they're movement. We are in a marriage of mind, body, and spirit. It is a cohesive, sacred union of mind, body, and spirit. And of course, body is right in there. It's one of the three that the universe, that Source talks about. So it's very, very important and powerful for our younger brothers and sisters to have movement, to be moving, to be engaging with their body, to be exercising, running, jumping. Any type of physical movement is equally as important as the mental work we do. Our bodies are so important. So just such a great experience. And I'll talk about it some more throughout today's show. So, but the main point I want to make for starters, Mikey, is that it's the same applicability for athletes as everything that I talk about. So the same applicability for all these teaching points that I share with my brothers and sisters for athletes is what I share for, as I mentioned earlier in the show, health, wealth, love, happiness, relationships, experiences, and spirituality. My fellow brothers and sisters, as I touched on earlier as well, your body, under universal law, must follow the instructions of you and your mind. It must, under universal law, your body must listen to you. You want to talk kindly to your body. I suggest throughout the day telling your body, I love you, I love you, I love you. You can kiss yourself in the back of the hand and say, I love you, I love you, I love you. The trillions and trillions of atoms in your body, again, must, under universal law, listen to you. As you've heard me say before, we live in a perfect and infinite universe of universes, all operating under perfect and infinite universal laws. And you, my fellow brothers and sisters, we're talking about a game of basketball here. We are in a game of life, all of us. We're in a game of life first and foremost, and then also playing the game of basketball. You're in a thought world within a thought universe. And these universal laws, the number one most important universal law is the universal law of love. It is the only law that fulfills all others. All others. We talk about law of attraction, the law of gender, the law of cause and effect, law of karma, law of vibration, all these wonderful laws, dozens and dozens and dozens of primary laws, none more important than the law of love. And what am I telling yourself? Love yourself, love your body, love the beautiful body you've been given. Speak to your body, encourage it, thank your body, speak to it. So again, at the highest level, I coach and interact with a number of very, very talented athletes. And it's the highest level of golf, the highest level of basketball, whatever it may be. My fellow brothers and sisters, at these high levels, even for these gentlemen in high school, their talent is they're in the very top of the top 1% of all high school basketball players on planet Earth. And when you get to the top level, in athletics is what we're talking about today, especially for young men and women, you're physically very, very close. There's a lot of athletes who are physically height, weight, jumping ability, speed, lateral movement, etc., very close to each other. I'm here to suggest to you today that the differentiation for the brothers and sisters of ours who take it to the next level is their mind, is their mindset. That's what I'm sharing with you today. All across your life, it's your mind and your mindset. So at a higher level, we get past the metrics of body versus body. Our brothers and sisters who end up with the brass ring, so to speak, and who succeed at the highest levels, it's mind versus mind. Visualization is a key tool. I'll talk about that some more. Anything, my fellow brothers and sisters, I remind you is possible. I always talk to you about shooting for 12 o'clock on a wristwatch. Think of a clock on a wall. That's your faith goal, your number one goal. That's what you're focused on. Don't worry about any variations. You are loved more than you can ever imagine by Source. And sometimes when you reflect on it, you will not receive exactly your goal at 12 noon on that clock at the North Star. Think of it that way. It'll be a little bit to the left. It'll be at 10 a.m., at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. You'll receive a little bit different goal, or maybe somewhat of a material different goal, a little bit to the side, 10 p.m., 11 p.m., or a little bit to the right-hand side, let's say 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. However you want to look at it on this clock of life, and you will be grateful. You will thank Source for giving you, again, call it 10 a.m. or p.m., whatever you want to, on one side of the clock, 1 or 2 on the other side of the clock. You'll be very grateful. For my fellow brothers and sisters there's divine orchestration, there is divine synchronicity, and there is divine appointment. Don't worry about that. Manifesting success is never an if, never an if. It's only a when. We don't worry about the when. We never worry about the how it's going to happen. It is on its way to you. So thank you, Mikey, for a great topic and a great kickoff. And that's just so wonderful for me, the quality time that I share with those young gentlemen and the desire that they have to be the best version of themselves. Some of them may desire, for example, to be an NBA basketball player, which is the top league here in the United States. They may not. That may be their 12 o'clock goal on the clock. They may end up at 10 or 11 to the left side or 1 or 2 to the right-hand side, and they may be the president of a company. They may be one of the greatest dads that ever lived. They will end up what the universe will deliver to them, their best pathway, the best goal that is the best fit and delivers the most to them. So don't worry about that. You will be delivered the best outcome. It's in the hands of divine orchestration, divine synchronicity, and divine appointment. So thank you.
Thank you. And you always say you're never too young to start. So it's never too young to start
Yeah.
moving your body, and it's never too young to start manifesting what you want your future to look like. So I think that's great that you reached out to these young students. And Pat, we touched a little bit on Pappy's social media at the beginning of the podcast, saying what a continuous stream of positive energy is. But he also wants to continue that with a weekly email that he sends to everybody with 2 free concepts to live by. He understands that there's a lot of negativity that come in through us through social media, through our inbox, and he just wants to be that dose of positivity every week for you. And I know you have a great concept to live by lined up for us today, Pappy.
Yes, Mikey. We send out 2 concepts to live by every week. And I know recent email that we sent out, one of the concepts was law of attraction. And this is, of course, sort of like one of the granddaddies of all universal laws. It's really technically underneath the law of vibration. But the law of attraction, very simply, my fellow brothers and sisters, is like attracts like. Like. Like attracts like. You are a magnet. You're a magnet. That's what I quoted Buddha a little bit ago. You attract what you feel. That is what will come to you. You are a magnet. So under the law of attraction, my fellow brothers and sisters, this is how we manifest the law of attraction. As above, so below. You're attracting it into your life. As within, so without. You are attracting it into your life. Using your thoughts. Albert Einstein, again, just think about this, my brothers and sisters. Arguably the number one quantum physicist of the last couple hundred years. Take a look at his quotes. He talked about imagination an unbelievable amount of time. Talking about imagination. This is the number one quantum physicist, arguably, in the last couple hundred years here on planet Earth. Talking about imagination. He said, Albert Einstein said, pay attention to your imagination. It is featuring the coming attractions in your life. Pay attention to your imagination. It is going to show you the coming attractions. It's going to deliver the coming attractions in your life. This is Albert Einstein, a quantum physicist. What's he talking about? Imagination. As you heard me say, my fellow brothers and sisters, it all starts with your imagination, with your ideas, and with your thoughts. That gets back to what I stated to you earlier about the power that you have to manage and direct energy. All these trillions of atoms around you, thinking conscious, substance, intelligent substance all around you that must, under universal law, follow your direction. What's the challenge, my brothers and sisters, as you've heard me say before again, for every 5 thoughts our brothers and sisters are having, 4 are negative. You can say, Pappy, if I got all this power, why aren't all these good things showing up in my life? That's what I'm here for, my fellow brothers and sisters, to get you from thinking 80 negative thoughts out of every 100 thoughts that you have, to get you down to 79, 78, to get you to increase, to get you to improve by 1%. Can you improve by 1% today? I see you all nodding your heads. Yes, you can, easily. Let's go from 80 negative thoughts out of 100 to 79. You've improved by 1%. Just law of attraction. You draw this into your life. You are a magnet. Like attracts like. You achieve this process through your thoughts. Imagination, I always think, is sort of the very top level. Right below that would be your ideas, your ideation. Below that will be your thoughts. Your thoughts are the core of this. Your thoughts are the core. You will draw this into your life. You will attract. What did Buddha say? You will become what you think. He told you right there. He figured this out thousands of years ago. And he got all this from Source. He was blessed with Source, with this knowledge, with this ancient wisdom I'm sharing with you today. Your thoughts start the process. I said TFAW, TFAW. Then your feelings and your emotion. My fellow brothers and sisters, you've heard me say over and over, they are the secret sauce. Your thoughts start this entire process, and your feelings and emotions inject it and put it on warp speed, drawing it to you. Your feelings and emotions. But BUT, both good and bad. Both good and bad. Positive thoughts will draw positive unto you. Negative thoughts will draw negativity unto you. Positive emotions will draw positivity unto you. Negative emotion will draw negativity unto you into your life. Actions, your actions are either positive or negative. TFAW, TFAW, thoughts, feelings, actions, and the W's for words. Be extraordinarily careful, my fellow brothers and sisters. I was directed years ago to read certain books to deliver a message to me. As I got better and better, I was then delivered to certain books, but only to read a certain chapter, one specific chapter. Then I was directed to certain books within a chapter to read a paragraph. Then as I continued my progress, I was I was instructed to read certain books in a chapter within a paragraph and focus on one sentence. That's how powerful that sentence was in a book, that it took me, and somebody's sentence gave me quantum leaps forward in my life. And then finally, I was directed by Source to purchase a book, to go inside the book, within a chapter in the book, within a page in the book, within a paragraph in the book, within a sentence in the book, and focus on one word in that sentence. Can you imagine? One word in that sentence. And I asked Source, one word. Yes. Yes is the answer. Each and every individual word that comes out of your mouth, my fellow brothers and sisters, and that you allow into your ears without canceling or rejecting, or just saying no or nope, or saying I refuse to participate, but you just cancel, you're rejecting. Every single word, my fellow brothers and sisters, just as I was directed and taught by universe, by Source, carries meaning. Carries meaning. That's how powerful this one word is that you speak. Carries vibration, carries frequency. I caution you, listen to the music that you listen, not just listening to the beat and everything else is going on. What are the words that are coming into you, into your sacred body, into the sacred chemistry that you possess, into this perfect spiritual spark? So law of attraction, my fellow brothers and sisters, like attracts like. You are a magnet. However much power you think, multiply that. When my children were younger, they'd use the word like a gazillion. They would say a gazillion. I'm going to use that same definition. You have a gazillion times more power than you think you do right now. You control the law of attraction. You manifest everything into your life, everything that's in your life, your entire reality, thoughts, feelings, actions, and words. Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you. You were talking a lot about athletes this week, this podcast, and every great athlete has a great coach behind them. And Papi is a great coach when it comes to manifesting the law of attraction. Papi, what's your coaching tip for us today?
Your coaching tip, Mikey, as you know, and I appreciate your patience. You're so good at this because I tend to bounce around a little bit, but you're steady Eddie. That's what I love about you. Just like you keep everything straight on. And I had sort of got excited as I do sometimes and jumped into somewhat of the coaching tip in your question earlier. So I won't go as deep into it here, but to manifesting law of attraction, the manifest coaching tip for today is, as Mikey had stated, that no one is ever too young to get started. Actually, from some aspects, and I know under universal law that I don't express any regret because everything happens for a reason. There's a purpose behind everything. But from a human perspective, I am human, obviously. And there are times I think, boy, I would have really liked to known a lot of this ancient wisdom younger in life. So you're never too young to get started. And that's what I tell younger audiences, Mikey, when I speak to them. It could even be if they're in their 20s or 30s, but especially teenagers, that they're just blessed to have received this knowledge. Anyone who reads my book has ever heard me talk, my whys, the why for everything I do, for everything is my Italian grandma Rose. Came to the United States with a third grade education, was swinging a sledgehammer out in the stone quarries outside of Naples, Italy. Thought she was going to die, had no future, 5 foot tall, swinging a sledgehammer. She is in a tie for I have whys, not just a why in my life. My next why is my Polish grandma Anna. Family grew up in the ghettos of Warsaw, Poland. My Italian ancestry grew up in the slums of Naples, Italy. And then my mother, Phyllis. Those are my three whys. And my fellow brothers and sisters, you have heard enough. You have heard more. You have heard more sacred knowledge here today, just on our podcast today, than the three most important people in my life, my whys, the reason for what I do, for sharing this universal ancient wisdom, this universal knowledge with you. You've already heard more than all three of them heard their combined lives on planet Earth. So consider yourself blessed no matter when this information is delivered to us, whenever this divine knowledge is shared with us, but especially the sooner that you come in contact with it. So I remind any younger audience of our younger fellow brothers and sisters, as Mikey said, you're never too young to get started. And with any sport, as I teach, is with anything in life, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I don't care if you are in grade school or junior high school or high school, and you're the shortest player on your team. If you're I'm talking about the height. If you're the shortest in height of any player on your team, male or female, if you're the shortest player in height in the whole division, if you take a dozen schools that you play that are in your division or conference, if you're the shortest in height of every player in that entire division, I don't care if you're the shortest in the United States. We have states, different states, New York, Florida, Texas, California, different states, Pennsylvania. If you're the shortest player in a sport in your entire state, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We never think anything negative about that. If your goal is to be in the NBA, I want you to believe that. I want you to believe that with authenticity, with your entire heart, your entire soul. My fellow brothers and sisters, you will be led to the best outcome, the achievement of the best goal, as long as you can stay on the pathway, use this process. And there's a lot of different tools and there's a lot of different ways of doing it. But take to your heart, take to your soul this ancient wisdom I'm sharing with you. So whatever your goal is, stay on it. You may end up in the NBA. Again, you may be the CEO of a Fortune 1000 company. You may be surprised at the success that you have and how you are guided under universal synchronicity, the universal orchestration, the universal appointment, divine orchestration, divine synchronicity, divine appointment. So again, your thoughts, feelings, and your actions and words, believe it, expect it, assume that feeling and know it in every fiber of your body. It works for every goal in your life. Apply this, as I said earlier, through affirmations, through intentions and or prayers throughout the day. So thank you, Mikey. Just such a powerful coaching tip. It applies to adults and as well as to every other level of our life, even to our youngest of youngest brothers and sisters. So thank you for that wonderful reminder, Mikey. Thank you.
Well, it's so true. And this is a worldwide podcast. People are listening to it, and everyone's watched the Winter Olympics this year. And Jack Hughes was one of our heroes. And he wrote a letter to himself in 2019 that he was going to play in the NHL, that he was going to play with his brothers, and that he was going to win the gold medal. He wrote this to himself in 2019. So that's just proof that you just have to manifest this and your dreams can come true. He believed in himself so much that it actually happened. And without even knowing it, a lot of athletes give affirmations to themselves. And that's exactly what Jack Hughes was doing. He already said, I am going to win a gold medal. And he said, just like you do, I am so happy and grateful now that it's happened. We live in the moment. And that's what your affirmations are all about. And I know that you have one that you're going to share with us today.
Yeah, Mike, you're so great at idea generation. So I thank you so much for that. It's one of your superpowers. And it's so interesting. You just said that, Mike. I was just flipping through the television. I don't watch a whole lot of television, mostly just sports, because a lot of things I find I don't want to sit there and have to cancel and reject every 30 seconds for some type of show that's on TV. And there was one gentleman, Mike, in the United States. We have professional basketball called the NBA. And I believe he's arguably the best player on the team, one of the top five in the NBA. And I believe his last name is Tatum. And they were interviewing Mikey about the same thing, and his mom raised him, and he was so grateful, and just so much genuineness was coming through in his interview when they were talking with them. And they said, and his mom had reminded the person who was interviewing him about when he wrote Mikey, and it was very similar to what you just said about the hockey player, Mr. Hughes, with the gold medal and his brother, writing this out years in advance. He wrote certain specific things out that he is an NBA basketball player when he was a very young gentleman. He wrote this out. My fellow brothers and sisters, as I've told you, nothing is impossible. This is not me speaking. This is source. It's the universe and the universal laws. Nothing is impossible. Every possible outcome, there is an ocean of outcomes in front of you, my fellow brothers and sisters, and it is an infinite ocean. Every
Mm.
possible future outcome for you exists. And you have to, as I say, put your big boy pants on, put your big girl pants on. So what were these gentlemen doing? We've heard female athletes as well, the same stories. They're bringing this into their life, the law of attraction. They're writing it out. When you write something down, my brothers and sisters, when you think the thought, you have pulled in, everything. Energy is in a wave format, so to speak. And when you write it down, technically you could say you're collapsing that wave function. You are densifying it. You are making it real when you write it out, especially if you can write it out in cursive. When you write it out, you are bringing that is a quantum leap in your thoughts. Your thoughts start this whole process. But when you start to bring this into the 3D, you're pulling it in, you're bringing it in, and or like passively, you're walking into it, your harmony, alignment, flow. But there's a couple of great examples. And thank you, Mikey, because that was such an emotional moment for that gentleman and for his brother and how well he did on top of just being on the Olympic team, but for how well he did. But my brothers and sisters, for this point that Mikey just made to you, and I'm just complimenting her idea because I didn't know she was going to mention that. She's so good at this on the research she does. But just take a look. You may be surprised by the comment Mikey just made now about Mr. Hughes. I will guarantee you will start to notice this over and over with uber, very successful brothers and sisters, CEOs, physicians, leaders, teachers, athletes, politicians, whoever it is, very successful. You see these traits over and over again that they have literally manifested it and brought it into your life. So the affirmation that we have Mikey share with this today, this comes out of my book. I've got pages and pages of affirmations listed in the back of my book. I am so happy and grateful now that what I want comes to me through the ways of established trade, industry, and commerce. So there's a lot of pathways that have already been paved, so to speak. There's a lot of pathways that have already been paved. You don't have to worry about this reinventing the wheel. You just use just the tools that I mentioned, even on today's podcast, and you're well on your way to manifesting anything you can imagine.
Thank you, Pap. Thank you for sharing that. And also, Pappy's full of a lot of information, but sometimes people have questions as well. And if you have a question for Pappy, you can submit it on the website by clicking the Ask Pappy link at the top. And today's question from one of our listeners is, can you share a story of something that you wanted to manifest and how during your learning journey you gained the strength and wisdom to keep moving forward during the rigorous times?
Yes, my fellow brothers and sisters, as I said before, and I said beak it, BEAK, believe it, expect it, assume the feeling of that wish fulfilled, of your goal fulfilled in advance. And that's why I tell you, gratitude is the most powerful tool you can use to give gratitude in advance. Because once you thought it, my fellow brothers and sisters, and applied emotion to it, it is there. You have it right in front of you in the 5D. And again, we don't question how long it takes to come to us in the 3D. That's what I mentioned earlier. That's under divine orchestration, divine synchronicity, divine appointment, but it is yours. It's in your universal hand. So you never question, like I said, about ordering a meal in a restaurant, you're on a flight on an airplane, or you're putting some into your GPS. So there will be challenges from a human perspective, but what breaks the cycle, Mikey, is whenever we are manifesting something and we're looking and checking on it. Is it there? Have I received it yet? That is showing the universe that you are not in a full belief, that you don't fully believe it, that you don't fully know it in your fiber in every fiber of your body. So, my fellow brothers and sisters, what I recommend is that anytime, and you will reach challenges, and I told you, my fellow brothers and sisters, it's been guaranteed to me from universal source that anytime we receive what we human beings call a problem or a challenge, that it's actually a blessing, because we as humans need nudged. We need a little help to keep us moving forward. And the universe does that in the form of problems and challenges. So the next problem or challenge you get, I want you to say thank you. Thank you. You used to get upset, go kick a box or something, or throw something, or have a fit when something didn't go your way, when a problem or challenge came to you, or an obstacle. I want you to turn that completely around and give thanks, give gratitude for that. Thank you. I appreciate that, because my brothers and sisters, under universal law, every problem or challenge you call as a human being contains the answer and the solution within it. How beautiful is that? And this answer and solution doesn't just answer that problem or challenge, it moves you forward significantly. I call it a gold nugget inside. How happy would you be to find a gold nugget, especially at the price of gold today, Mikey? How exciting would it be to find a gold nugget in something that's inside of every problem or challenge, what we call as human beings? And even better, there's occasionally a diamond, not just a gold nugget, but a diamond of the same size in that problem or challenge. And those diamonds, I'm speaking metaphorically, or what I refer to, Mikey, as you've heard me say over and over, this is for your quantum leap forward. This isn't even just a big improvement, a big movement. This is a quantum leap forward. So you will be challenged, my brothers and sisters. You will be challenged as to your belief. Do you believe in this? You've got to put more effort in it than 1 second or 10 seconds or maybe a day or a week or a month, what have you. Do you truly believe in it? Do you truly believe? Do you believe how much you are loved in this external opportunity, this buffet that is set in front of you? Do you truly expect it in every fiber of your body? Are you taking action on it? Are you taking action? Are you using the proper words, and are you managing the words that are coming into your ears? Because every word carries meaning, most importantly, vibration and frequency, every word. So, Mikey, what I suggest to our brothers and sisters is doubling down. The largest manifestation of my life, the largest success, and we don't like to sort of stratify these or quantify them. So I can say one of the largest, but arguably the largest. Took me about 5 years, almost 5 years to the day. And in the middle of it, Mikey, let's say at about 2.5 years, it not only looked like it wasn't going to happen, it looked like the absolute opposite, that it was even going to be catastrophic, not even like on my way to my goal, but heading materially in the opposite direction. What I did was I went and ordered the most expensive car I've ever ordered on that day. I refused to participate. Mikey, as you know, I'm a quantitative person in my human life. I've got a couple master's degrees, master's in business, MBA, concentrating in economics and finance, master's in tax law. I'm a CPA. I'm extraordinarily good at numbers, extraordinarily good, very, very good. There is no way from any numbers or any analytical perspective that I would ever recommend from a numbers perspective to anyone to ever do what I did financially. But that's how much faith I had. That's how much belief I had. That's how strong my expectation was. I took action on it to stay in alignment with my goal, the largest goal I've ever manifested. I keep on manifesting larger and larger. And it's not that we have to or anything, but as you get better and better, we're allowed to ask for more. And again, remember, my fellow brothers and sisters, with these goals, mission critical is goals are not to get. Goals are not to get. Goals are to grow. So you want to set goals that allow you to grow, and goals are going to not only help you, but they're going to help your fellow brothers and sisters, your biological family. I'm looking for goals that help me and my biological family, that help my team family, and help my family of clients. And by meeting my goals with my biological family, my team family, my family clients, I want to pay this forward. I want to pay this forward. I want to take where profit meets purpose and take this purpose of helping my fellow brothers and sisters to shine universal light on over 1 billion of my fellow brothers and sisters to awaken this untapped creative power that is within them. So setting a goal that helps my biological family, my team family, and my family of clients, and then paying this forward to my community family, everyone around me, you could say in your county, in your state, the United States, and then your spiritual family, every single fellow brother and sister of ours on planet Earth. My fellow brother and sister, when you are in a positive mental state, every prayer is heard, every prayer is answered, every prayer is taken action on, every affirmation, every intention. You can help more of your fellow brothers and sisters by putting out positive energy, prayers, and other things, which is not the topic for today's show. So the example I'm giving, Mikey, is when I was at my nadir at the very bottom, at the darkest of moments, I doubled down or tripled down, or however you want to phrase it, in my belief, my expectation of success, my actions being directly on that frequency, and my knowing. And I believe that was a key point of inflection, Mikey, in me manifesting the largest goal that I ever did. And I've seen this happen over and over again. My fellow brothers and sisters, if you can convince yourself the truth, and the truth is that there is no if, there's only a when, and you keep on plowing and fighting forward, and you realize and recognize this perfection that's inside you, the ability that you have to manifest anything you can imagine. If you can think it in your mind, you can and will hold it in your hand. So thank you, Mikey, again for sharing just a great topic after great topic today on our show, on our podcast.
Yeah, great answer. You talk about gold nuggets and doubling down, and that just reminded me of a quote that I used to say to the boys, that a diamond is just a piece of coal that never gave up. So you just got to keep
I love
plugging,
that. That's
So,
great. I love that.
um, and Pappy's always talking about his tool books and all these tools that he has. And one of the greatest tools that he's given us and literally has given us, because you can get this for free as an ebook, but it's also available as a physical copy and as an audible copy, is his book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. And I say it's a great tool because there's so many, like he said, affirmations that are in there. There's so many wonderful quotes that are in there. There's so many concepts to live by. Everything in this podcast can be found in that book. And I know you have a great, great quote for us today, Pappy. Which one are you going to share with us?
Yeah, Mikey, thank you so much for this. And just so much positive energy today. I would just recommend folks. I myself am amazed when I go back and listen to our podcast, but especially today's, the beginning and everything throughout. I would just recommend just replaying this over and over. So much wonderful information. We've shared information on today's podcast that is literally took me decades and decades and decades to acquire this knowledge. So thank you, Mikey. The quote from my book, I say Macy. I abbreviate it Macy, Mayci. Manifest anything you can imagine. The quote from my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. When visualizing your goal, your emotion should be a high vibration at the same as that of a child's on Christmas morning at that high of a vibration. To manifest, you must join with your inner child and forget what you've been taught and become one with your inner child of imagination. Papi, DiNuzzo. Just think about this, Mikey. Just so much is mentioned in here. It always amazed me. I'm always in such gratitude, Mikey and Kim, for how our podcast flows and how so much of this is unrehearsed, but just how so much of it comes together and is woven. And if we would have spent 5 or 10 or 25 hours preparing for this, we could not have had this golden thread run through and how things are connected to each other. So again, a beautiful quote that complements our conversation throughout the podcast today.
Absolutely. Thank you for a great show today. I just want to remind everyone, if you're a successful entrepreneur looking to take your business, life, health, wealth, love, and impact to the next level, the Pappy Mindset Manifestation Mastermind or the Pappy Mindset Manifestation Retreats may be just the answer and experience you've been looking for. This is where positive thoughts, emotions, and actions align with ancient wisdom within a tribe of purpose meets profit entrepreneurs who are dedicated to elevating their mindset, their energy, their results, and their fellow brothers and sisters in need. If you're ready to manifest, grow, stretch, and really step into the next newer, higher version of yourself, our mastermind and retreats were created just for you. Thank you, Papi, and I know you're ready for a wonderful closing for us today.
Yes, thank you, Mikey. It's always important that we open with positive energy. We close with positive energy. We want to always greet coming and going with positive energy, our fellow brothers and sisters. First and foremost, Mikey, I want to thank you so much for doing the wonderful job you did today, as you always do. I never take that for granted. I never take you for granted. Thank you so much. I'm blessed to have you in my life and how great of a job you do. And I know where your heart's at, and it comes through for how much you're helping your fellow brothers and sisters. Kim, I want to thank you so much. Kim is behind the scenes. She does more than we could ever imagine. The backstage is a lot bigger than the front stage for Papi Mindset Coach, so to speak. And without Kim, none of this would be possible. So I'm going to thank you, Kim, my wonderful sister, for all the time and effort, and especially the love and positive energy that you put into our show, making our podcast a success over and over. In closing, my fellow brothers and sisters, again, I want to just thank you from my heart of hearts for joining us today. Again, you were called here. Your subconscious mind called you to hear this information, to come in contact, and to immerse yourself in this ancient wisdom. I am so happy and grateful now that you joined us today. Namaste, my wonderful fellow brothers and sisters. Again, the spirit of me greets the spirit of you. There's no more powerful greeting we can have for our perfect spirits greeting each other. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. And in closing out today, sending you love and blessings. I'm sending you love and light, truth and goodness. And again, my fellow brothers and sisters, these aren't just casual words. It's love over hate. It's light over darkness. It's truth over deception. It's good over evil. So I'm sending you love and light and truth and goodness. I'm sending you an awakening for the grand awakening, to awaken the inner knowing that's within you, the inner knowing you've been blessed with that's within you, for you to remember, So this is about a grand awakening, a grand remembrance, and our big shift to the new earth from the 3D to the 5D. That's everything I'm teaching you from an ancient wisdom perspective. I'm sending you my advancing personality, my impression of increase, and my positive energy at this very moment in time. And sending my positive energy, my fellow brothers and sisters, until we meet again. I am that I am. Thank you so much. With love and blessings until we meet again. Thank you so much. Namaste. That's a wrap for this episode of Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. Keep those dreams big and your mindset unstoppable. Take one step today toward the life you're manifesting, because you can create anything you imagine. If you can think it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Visit papimindsetcoach.com for more resources, and follow us at Papi Mindset Coach on social platforms for daily inspiration. If you love this episode, share it with someone ready to transform their life. Until next time, stay focused, stay positive, and keep on manifesting your best life. See you soon.